So my soon-to-be husband and I are kind of amateur makers, and we were debating the other day about tools in the workspace. So what are your guys' favorite tools, like in your personal workshops? What's your either most common or your favorite to play with?
I've been making a list lately of tools that are so awesome, but you won't learn about them unless someone tells you about them. Like the joy of a Japanese saw, right? Cutting on the pull will make you angry that you ever did anything else. Forstner bits. Forstner bits, you need a perfectly straight-shaped hole that is exactly as round as you need it to be, not rattling around like a big Deming bit. Forstner bits changed my life, and a full set of Forstner bits is like $30. It is one of the first tools I tell people to buy. The Leatherman on my belt is perhaps an extension of my hands. Those are like, that's the kind of thing I've been thinking about lately. Tools that someone else has to tell you about because they're not normally in an average hardware store.
But post a list.
I'm writing a book right now, I promise.
Tools are a thing to celebrate. I get a chance to travel around a lot around the world on business, and I spend a lot of time in China. I love documenting tools that I see that I don't get to use. And I was just walking along the side of a road recently in China, and there was a man unloading bricks. And he had built a tool to grab more bricks because the speed at which he could unload bricks determined his earning capacity. So he'd come up with a pair of scissors, or they look like scissors with these wonderful long extensions, so he could grab more bricks than his physical hands could grab. And I thought, that's it in its purest form. And to me, I think tools are a thing to celebrate because they enable us to do things beyond the extension of our hands. And what a beautiful question.
I think that new makers are often flummoxed by what they should and shouldn't have in their shop. I'm a big believer in Craigslist and Harbor Freight for where most of the tools arrive in a working condition. Harbor Freight has been getting better. I will admit they have been getting better. But it's great to spend $20 on a tool to determine whether or not it will be useful to you, and then to invest in the best version you can currently afford, because that one will be with you for the rest of your life. And I'm still using tools I bought 30 years ago because I followed that program. When I was a model maker at ILM, if I needed a tool more than 3 times a year, I would add it to my collection.
Yeah, and young people today are extremely lucky comparatively because tools are so available and so inexpensive. Yeah. So you can learn to use tools that were not in any way available to you 30 years ago because they were so incredibly expensive, imported from the UK or Japan. And therefore you didn't experiment with tools. You got stuck in a limited collection of tools. Hey.
Yeah, well, in New Zealand, Richard did the first 30 years of his career with just a pair of pliers. And number 8 fencing wire.
And margarine.
And margarine.
Yeah.
Thank you for that great question.